As you make your decision to get vaccinated, be sure that you are armed with the facts.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.
Coming up in the news, the missing case of Dudley Capron now classified as a homicide. Also, 4 young men appearing in court to answer to the charge of possession of a firearm with the intent to endanger life. The Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, starts now.
This is the Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Shoshana Roll-Farquharson. As always, it is so great to have you with us. Topping news this evening, we are in the beginning of a surge. We must test, isolate, trace, treat, and vaccinate in order to win the battle against COVID-19. That sobering appeal coming a short time ago from the chair of the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee, Dr. Mercelin Dalregis, during the Ministry of Health's press conference. Dr. Dalregis saying as cases continue to rise, it is clear that the pandemic is not over. She calls it a race against time.
The emergence of variant strains of COVID-19 is of significant concern. These variants spread more easily and are infecting younger age groups. The cases may be more severe, and some countries are reporting more deaths. We have been actively monitoring genomic testing from the 13th of March to the 17th of April, and there is evidence of an increasing number of genomic deletions, which means that this is indicative of variant strains. And although Grand Bahama presented with a lot of cases, the deletion of the strain in Grand Bahama was only identified last week.
Now, the special health consultant says new infections are being driven by international travel and a relaxed adherence to health guidelines. She's also concerned that new strains are making a bad situation worse.
Test. We must isolate, we must trace, we must treat, and we must vaccinate. The COVID-19 vaccine provides you with the opportunity to develop an immune response to combat this infection. The immune response will neutralize the severity of the COVID-19 virus infection.
Meantime, the committee is preparing to roll out vaccines in all of the Family Islands. Vaccinations will be given to all residents age 18 and over with a Bahamian government ID. The second batch of the vaccine is expected to arrive at the end of May.
We must test. We must isolate, we must trace, we must treat, and we must vaccinate. The COVID-19 vaccine provides you with the opportunity to develop an immune response to combat this infection. The immune response will neutralize the severity of the COVID-19 virus infection.
In other news, students, teachers, and staff at the Bishop Michael Eldon School returning to virtual learning this week after a number of students were exposed to COVID-19 and tested positive for the virus. According to a release by the Anglican Central Education Authority, over the Easter break, grade 12 students of their own volition arranged a series of events over the course of a few days to have a senior class experience. The final event was held April 10th, just 2 days before students returned to school. The release notes that none of these events were sanctioned or supported by the Anglican Central Education Authority or Bishop Michael Eldon School, and that the administration learned of these events on Friday, April 16th. The statement adds that it is suspected that the events violated protocols mandated by the Ministry of Health and the competent authority, wearing masks, observing social distances, and stringent sanitization. It is also suspected that students from other schools attended these celebrations as well, and there were increased risks of exposure for COVID-19. Some BMES students reported symptoms, and there are 2 known positive cases from this group. The statement continues that when the 12th graders returned to school on April 12th, they put the teachers, staff, students, and extended families of Bishop Michael Eldon School at risk of being exposed to the virus. And after consultation with the Ministry of Health and the contact tracing team, the school has imposed a mandated 10-day quarantine for all teachers, staff, and students. Virtual learning commenced on April 19th and face-to-face will resume on April 26th. Now, the administration is asking that if parents or their children exhibit any symptoms, to contact the school so that the information can be forwarded to the contract tracing team. The release also adds that in the days ahead, there will be ongoing sanitization of both campuses. Police giving an update tonight on an outstanding missing persons report. The elderly man was reported missing last year. Police confirming that the case is now a murder investigation. Here's the report. Police officials confirming that 78-year-old Dudley Capron, a well-known musician on Grand Bahama, was murdered. Officer in charge of the Northern Bahamas, Assistant Commissioner of Police Ashton Greenslade, giving ZNS News the update during a press conference on Monday.
He was positively identified as the body, as the John Doe body, and we now know it's him. And like I say, we're still actively investigating that particular matter.
Okay, so we're looking at this
as a homicide. Yes, it's now a homicide.
Capron, who goes by the name Caproni, lived alone and often frequented the Carvel Beach and Bahamas area. He was reported missing back in November after family members had not heard from him for several days. Greenslade shared why the case has now moved from missing to homicide.
Yes, because our investigation, the pathologist report.
You may recall not long after Capron was reported missing, police officials were called to the scene of a badly decomposed body in the Queens Cove area where they discovered the body of a male through a track road. Police officials noting that due to the condition of the body, the identity could not be determined at that time. Well, that decomposed body is confirmed to be that of Capron. However, police remain tight-lipped on the findings of the pathologist report.
I can't go into detail, bearing in mind we might be able to solve this matter, and if we solve this matter, the information I divulge here might cause some problem in the not-too-distant future.
But he contends that an active investigation continues.
I have a small team from the Criminal Investigation Department who is still looking into that matter. Their sole purpose is to continue to try and bring that matter to a close.
ACP Greenslade adding that the public's assistance is needed in bringing this matter to a close.
But we're asking any member of the public who might have heard or seen something on the date and time in question to please come forward and pass that information to us. It might be the small piece of puzzle that we're looking for to close that particular case.
Meantime, Assistant Commissioner of Police Ashton Greenslade telling our ZNS News team that the whereabouts of wanted man Kenrick Hanna is still unknown. You may recall that 29-year-old Kenrick Hanna was accused of murdering Monet Darville a year ago. Hanna is wanted on the charge of violation of the Bail Act.
Given bail, and we're still looking for him. Anyone who might have any information as to his whereabouts, we're asking him to come forward, whether it be in Nassau or Bimini or Abaco, Grand Bahama, wherever he is in the Bahamas, in the Caribbean or in the world. We're asking persons who might have information on his whereabouts to get in contact with the police so we could bring him back into custody.
Now, Hannah is of dark brown complexion, muscular, 5 feet 10 inches tall, 210 pounds, with tattoos on his arm, leg, and chest. His last known address is Kings Bay apartment here in Freeport. Police say if you see Kenrick Hannah, you should approach him with caution. If you know his whereabouts, you should contact 911 or 350-3106 through 9 or 302-8430 or your nearest police station. Well, 4 young men appearing in court today to answer to the charge of possession of a firearm with the intent to endanger life. 27-year-old Draxon Bellany, of Frobisher Drive in the blue shirt. 22-year-old Stephon Moss of Bethel Avenue in the gray shirt. Shamar Moss, age 20, of Garden Villas. He is also wearing a gray shirt. And Hayward Johnson, age 21, of Gordon Avenue, wearing the multicolored shirt. They all appeared before Magistrate LaQuay Lang in court number 1 and all pleaded not guilty and were granted bail in the amount of $5,000 cash bail. The matter was adjourned to June 15th. They are all required to sign in at the Central Police Station every Monday and Wednesday. Police say the men were arrested after an investigation into reports of gunshots being fired into the area of Gwen's Plaza this past Friday. Switching gears now, a group of migrants found residing in a bus arrested in Abaco. According to reports yesterday, a joint operation consisting of officers from the departments of Abaco District, the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and officials from the Department of Housing and Environmental Health led to the arrest and subsequent conviction of 3 Haitian adult male migrants. An official complaint was lodged with the department after a video made the rounds on social media of a school bus that had been converted into a dwelling home for suspected illegal migrants in the Dundastown Abaco area. The team investigated the complaint and found 3 males, later discovered to be Haitian migrants, on board the bus. Now, the trio attempted to evade custody, however, did not make good their escape. The men were cautioned and transported to the Immigration Marsh Harbor office, where further investigations revealed that they possessed no legal status in the country. All migrants stated that they entered the country via boat in December 2020. They were arraigned in the magistrate's court on the island before Magistrate Ansela Evans and pleaded guilty to the charge of illegal landing. Now, upon conviction, migrants were ordered to remain in immigration custody for deportation, having been fined $300 or, in default of payment, serve 1 month at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Stay with us. We'll be back right after this.
Come on down. Now. Come on down. Now.
Becoming a BTC postpaid customer is fast and easy. And what's more, by signing up, the deals are instant. Tell us about some of the deals available for postpaid customers.
Well, we always have amazing deals available for our postpaid customers. We have up to 75% off any device that we carry, and you can also get up to $300 off of a phone if you're an existing customer. A new customer, you can get a free phone. And that's some of the amazing deals that we have at any of our major stores. Let's talk again about switching over from prepaid to postpaid. Okay, when you switch over from prepaid to postpaid with any carrier, you can keep your same number and you can come into a BTC store and your service will not be interrupted at all. Your friends and family won't even know that you made this switch.
And for new customers, what is the process like for them to become postpaid customers?
For a new customer, you just walk into the store, have a government-issued IDs, passport, driver's license, stuff like that. And once you do that, it'll be that simple. You could just visit one of our reps and they'll help you.
And tell us about some of the postpaid packages.
We have packages to suit any lifestyle and any budget. And whether you're homeschool, whether you have working from home, whatever it is, we have something here that will suit your budget.
So what are you waiting for? Visit any of our BTC locations and sign up and become a postpaid customer. It's fast, it's easy, and it's rewarding. These are still the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
Pregnancy, beautiful delivery, everything was phenomenal. Ryan started to develop even more symptoms and signs and stuff of autism that was becoming it was a lot for us.
Having autism is not like, dealing with regular kids. You have to have a lot of patience. And right now, we're still learning.
He had a lack of speech. He had speech, and he had regressed to where he didn't have speech anymore. And I've learned to celebrate small achievements, small milestones. I have my times when I'm depressed and I'm stressed and I cry, and I have to just take a minute, deal with that, but get back in it.
Join us for the untold story of autism, April 28th through the 30th, only on the ZNS Network.
Your #1 news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
Welcome back. The explosive eruption of the volcano Lesser Frere in St. Vincent on the 9th of April 2021 and subsequent moderate eruptions have increased the level of ash and sulfur dioxide in the atmosphere significantly in the vicinity of the Eastern Caribbean. The latest advisory issued by the Washington Volcanic Ash Advisory Center indicated that the plume of ash from Lesser Frere has diminished and is no longer visible via satellite. Westerly winds in the upper levels have taken the majority of the volcanic ash eastward across the Atlantic to as far as the Indian Ocean, reducing its concentration in the immediate area. The Bahamas, located geographically to the north and west of the site of eruption, should not expect the inflow of volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide in appreciable quantity or precipitation acidic in nature. Now, for the next few days, hazy conditions will persist throughout the Bahamas owing to the inflow of Sahara dust, a yearly occurrence. Moreover, a quasi-stationary front, a dominant weather feature in the extreme northwest Bahamas, may produce a few showers and isolated thunderstorms. The Bahamas Department of Meteorology will continue to monitor the activity and advise of any potential hazards should they arise. In other news, a number of licensed and qualified mortuary and funeral businesses on Grand Bahama are calling on the relevant authorities to look into reports of individuals offering services while purporting to be in the business with no certified expertise or legitimate license to operate. A spokesperson for the licensed body says what is worse is the fact that a church is reportedly being used to legitimize the fake operation. The spokesperson says that death and grief are bad enough and the pain should not be compounded with manipulation and the false pretense of a professional service. Now, the spokesperson also adding for the licensed and qualified mortuary owners, they are warning vulnerable families of deceased loved ones to be aware. The Grand Bahama Red Cross Society breaking ground today for a new headquarters in Freeport, the new edifice being constructed at a cost of $400,000. Officials say it will help them carry out the organization's mission and will help to meet the needs of the Grand Bahama community. Italia Hall has more.
Red Cross officials, private sector, and governmental representatives turning out for the official groundbreaking ceremony of the Grand Bahama Red Cross Society's new headquarters on Jobson Avenue. The new center is being constructed at a cost of $400,000 by Michael Edwards and Pinnacle Construction Company. Phase 2 will include a multi-purpose building. President of the Bahamas Red Cross Society, Therese Curry, sharing more details about the project.
Our new center, designed by Architectural Design Ideas, features a beautiful Bahamian building consisting of 3 building blocks. The center block is an administrative building of approximately 2,300 square feet, affixed to 2 porches. The block to the left consists of a warehouse and commercial kitchen of approximately 900 square feet, connected to that administrative office building by a breezeway. The block to the right is planned for phase 2 of construction, which will include the construction of a 1,700 square foot multi-purpose hall, which will double as a shelter if the need arises.
Lead for the Canadian Red Cross, Brandon McFarlane, congratulating the Red Cross on this significant milestone.
This momentous occasion demonstrates that we have a unifying ethos. May this branch continue to be a beacon of hope and a partner to the vulnerable agents in their own recovery and building of resilience.
During that ceremony, Managing Director of the Disaster Reconstruction Authority, Catherine Forbes-Smith, on hand, thanking the Red Cross officials for efforts to help rebuild Grand Bahama.
The move toward recovery and reconstruction can only happen with the help and assistance of non-governmental organizations and NGOs like the Bahamas Red Cross, who, like many other NGOs, have supported the work in our communities by taking on projects like this new building to be constructed here. We cannot underestimate the work of the Bahamas Red Cross throughout this country. The work with our youth, reminding young people early of the need to appreciate volunteerism, its first aid programs, feeding programs, shelter programs, and of course, disaster management.
Now, phase 1 of the project is expected to be complete in November of this year. The president says efforts are underway to raise funds for phase 2 of the project, which will seek to meet the demands of the Grand Bahama community. It's Halia Hall, ZNS Network News.
Well, it has been a challenging academic year for educational officials, but despite those challenges, teachers rose to the occasion. A special ceremony taking place at the Jack Hayward Junior High School in recognition of an educator selected as the Teacher of the Year. Aramiko Knowles was there for the celebration.
A red carpet affair taking place at the Jack Hayward Junior High School as education officials, family and friends gather to honor a woman whom they say is worthy of the title Teacher of the Year. Now showing a red carpet affair starring Miss Rayshana Curry. Arriving in grand style, the 2019 through 2021 Teacher of the Year, Rayshana Curry, was welcomed with love. Students and teachers gathered with cell phones in hand to capture the moment as she was escorted out of the vehicle by her father, retired Superintendent of Police Noel Curry. The honoree began her teaching career in 2014 and throughout her 7-year tenure. Principal of the Jack Hayward Junior High School, Joyanne Penniman, says she has exuded a superior standard of excellence.
Today, we are in a celebratory mood to celebrate our Teacher of the Year, Miss Rayshana Curry. She's been selected as Teacher of the Year for the years 2019 to 2021. Miss Rayshana Curry would have been nominated by her peers and colleagues and voted upon, and she would have become successful for the Jack Hayward Junior High Teacher of the Year.
She notes that Rayshana Curry has worn many hats, serving as year head, club supervisor for the school's drama club, writing and book club, as well as the environmental club. Currently, she serves as the subject coordinator for the language arts department.
She was not only successful at the school level, but she dominated and won the district level for East Grand Bahama. And we are so proud today because she went to Nassau and she was the second runner-up for the entire Bahamas. So she went up against a lot of qualified educators. And I believe because of her portfolio and her teaching strategies and methodologies, that is what brought her to this point and all of the accolades that she truly deserved and earned.
Guest speaker, priest of the Pro Cathedral of Christ the King, Father Norman Lightbourne, says that teachers are nation builders, adding that the profession is a noble one that often calls for educators to go beyond the call of duty, especially now in the COVID era.
So let's face it, they've been challenged of late with the COVID-19 situation and again, Hurricane Dorian. But they've still gone the extra mile. They've really done their best in assisting our students and helping them to keep focus. So we thank God for our teachers. We're grateful to God for the fact that they are there making the sacrifices that they make. And we know that it is because of their commitment to their students.
Known as the All-Star Teacher and Teacher of the Year for 2019 through 2021, Rashana Curry says she was overwhelmed with emotion when she arrived at the ceremony.
I was a bit emotional when I came out and I saw the fanfare, but it was just an overwhelming amount of love and support and excitement that was brewing, and it just made me excited. It calmed my nerves a bit because I was a bit nervous, but I truly appreciate all of the love and the warmth that I've received this morning and throughout my 2 years as a Teacher of the Year.
Curry adds that serving as Teacher of the Year for the past 2 years has been a humbling and rewarding experience.
I owe a debt of gratitude to my colleagues, my family, my friends for all of their support over the past 2 years. It has been a long journey, but one that has been rewarding, one that has been fulfilling. And I think that throughout my entire 2-year process, that I've grown so much as an educator.
Overall, Curry attributes her success to her faith in God's promises. Ramiko Knowles, ZNS Network News.
And that's a look at stories making news at the hour. We go now with a check on sports with our Jay Philippe.
Good evening, I'm Jay Philippe and welcome to sports. After an impressive collegiate career at the NCAA Division II level, one Grand Bahamian athlete is looking to make history at the upcoming 2021 NFL Draft. The NFL Draft is set to begin April 29th. Grand Bahamian Michael Strawn, the Bahamian Division II All-American wide receiver, is hoping to hear his name called when it's all said and done.
I've been talking to different coaches, different teams, and they're all talking pretty well. They like me as a person, as a player. They like what they see on film. I had my pro day. I did pretty good at that, and so it's been all good talk.
Strawn made a boost to his NFL draft stock with an impressive performance at his pro day.
I've been having different teams daily reaching out, texting me and telling me, they want to set up a Zoom call or FaceTime call, whatever the case may be, and that's how it's been right now due to COVID. It's just, doing a lot of Zooms and having meetings over the call.
The NFL prospect measured at 6'5", 228 pounds, around a 4.60 seconds in the 40-yard dash. Strawn tells us he's counting the days until draft day.
I'm excited about it. Sometimes it could get a bit anxious, wanting to know where you're going or when you're going. So, but right now, I'm taking it day by day. I'm staying sharp. I'm continuing working hard. So I'm excited about it. It is a special time, and it gives me the opportunity to really put, the Bahamas on the map. And that's something that I really want to do, is just be able to put my country on the map and show people how far I've came from such a small country.
With the NFL draft having 7 rounds over the course of 3 days, Strawn says, according to his agent, he's expected to go in the mid-rounds.
Could go anywhere in the mid-round, but obviously my goal is to go earlier than that. And it's something that I'm praying for. So that's been the talk right now.
Switching gears now, Grand Bahamian sprinter Brianne Bethel won the 400 meter again this past weekend. Bethel had a stellar day at the track with a top finish in the 400 meters, securing a personal best time in the process. Bethel crossed the line at 52.87 seconds to claim the gold. And that's a quick check on sports right here in the North. I'm Jay Philippe. Be blessed.
Your favorite brand name of beach, casual, and formal accessories with the Nautica Boutique in Port Lacayo. View their social media pages at Facebook, the Nautica Boutique Store, or Instagram, GQ Men Bahamas, for more information. Valeria Caribbean, the fastest, easiest, and most affordable way to travel the United States. Been starting at $150 and passengers starting at $120. This Mother's Day, thank her for always being there with a gift that sparkles from Pandora Jewelry. Spend $150 or more April 22nd through April 26th and receive a limited edition bangle free. Offer good while supplies last. See store in the Port Lacayo Marketplace for details.
Did quarantine, lockdowns, and curfews help you to discover your inner chef? Well, I want to hear from you. Munching with Megan is back. Let's get cooking.
All new guest chefs and all new flavors. Tune in this and every Wednesday on the ZNS TV network.
Bad little lady, you should be driving me crazy. When she looking at it and moving them hips like, come here, baby. I wanna take her down now.
The King of the North is back. Power 104.5 FM.
The industrial business is an industry where safety is priority. ADP Industrial Outfitters has the gear for whatever industrial environment you work in. FR fire retardant coveralls, your protection against fire. Chem splash suits for industrial tank cleaning and inspection. Hazmat suits for mold remediation and the medical field. And Tyvek disposable coveralls, protections against particulate matter, light oils, and hazardous liquids. All suits available now at EDP Ship Care and Industrial Outfitters. Number 19 Oak Street. Phone 824-2047.
Your number one news team covering the North. The Bahamas Tonight, Northern Edition.
And this one goes out to my brother-in-law, Wellington Wildgoose, and my sister Bridget. We are praying for you guys. And that is going to do it for us here in the North. On behalf of our entire ZNS News team, I'm Shoshana Wolf-Arkeson. The Bahamas Tonight continues.
Coming up in the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, the Bahamas now in its third wave of the COVID-19 global pandemic. COVID-19, meantime, hitting public and private schools in the country. And an alleged fraudster is tonight on bail. Those stories and more coming up when the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, returns.
You are a healthcare worker. Thank you for fighting on the front lines against COVID-19. It is normal to feel stressed when taking care of others who don't feel well. But remember to take care of yourself. Don't forget to rest between shifts, eat healthy meals, engage in physical activity, and stay connected to family and friends. Avoid harmful coping strategies like drinking alcohol. For managers of healthcare workers, the same tips apply to you. Here's how you can help. Consistently give updates. Rotate staff between high and low stress level functions. Encourage work breaks and ensure that they know where they can find help. We are here for you.
This portion of the news brought to you by BTC's Dollar Holla Deals.
Good evening, I'm Akush Lopinder. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. It's always good to have you join us. Concern mounting as health officials urge caution in the face of a spike in COVID-19 cases across the country. Officials of the National COVID-19 Vaccine Consultative Committee today disclosing what has accounted for the resurgence and what it will take to manage this health crisis. Keishla Adderley leads us off tonight.
We must simultaneously address the increase in cases, the identification of resistant strains, and adherence to the public health measures if we are to win this race and return to a sense of normalcy.
A strong statement on the script still being written on COVID-19 as cases spike once again. Consultant Dr. Merceline Regis on what's to blame.
So new infections are being driven by international travel and a relaxed adherence to the health guidelines. The emergence of variant strains of COVID-19 is of significant concern. New strains have been identified from, you're well aware, the United Kingdom, Brazil, and South Africa, and most recently from India. These variants spread more easily and are infecting younger age groups. The cases may be more severe, and some countries are reporting more deaths.
Dr. Del Regis adds that the relaxation of protocols has also accounted for the spike, which saw 62 new cases reported on Saturday past and 55 on Monday. Dr. Del Regis also admitted that contact tracing has relaxed, but said it will be shored up.
We have called back all of those persons who helped us bring the pandemic to under 10 new cases a day to come back and help us. If we vaccinate many people, at the same time we accelerate the contact tracing and we practice the public health measures, we are optimistic, or we're hoping that we would see a plateau effect.
In the meantime, more doses of vaccine are on the way. So far, 21,000 doses have been administered, 16,394 in New Providence, 3,512 in Grand Bahama, 832 in Abaco and the Keys, and 638 in Eleuthera, for a daily average of 1,364 doses. The AstraZeneca dose, too, has been promised before the end of May. As for the other brands of vaccine, here's the reality.
The Moderna directly told us we could put in an order for 2022. And Johnson & Johnson, that's currently available, said that they don't have the adequate, they don't have the supplies. But given that the COVAX facility, we benefited from the COVAX facility, we could not be in their queue to receive Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
Meantime, concerns linger over a Centers for Disease Control report advising Americans against travel to the Bahamas. Dr. Del Regis fleshes out what they're watching and what the local plan is to also triage ailing tourism.
They closely watch the new cases, the hospitalizations, and they're also monitoring the vaccine uptake. If we can stem the tide of the new cases, we can accelerate the vaccination, and it's May. We think that we would put ourselves in a position to receive a favorable response that promotes the Bahamas as a destination for tourists.
Keish Latterly, ZNS Network News.
Well, Family Islanders, get ready. Come Monday, April 26th, health officials will roll out the vaccination process with an ambitious 3-day schedule.
The vaccination component of the program will be administered to all residents 18 years and older who provide a Bahamian government ID in line with the following proposed schedule. And if we go to the vaccine rollout map, Andros, Meguana, Inagua, Crooked Island, May 26th, together with Long Key will go to Acklands, North Central and South Andros, Ragged Island, and mainland Exuma. On Tuesday, the Berry Islands, Great Harbor Key, Cat Island, San Salvador, and Long Island, Exuma Keys, and Rum Key. Wednesdays, North Central and South Eleuthera. And on Friday, we have Bimini.
Now, if you've been stenching on taking the AstraZeneca vaccine, another option could soon be at hand. And this as local positive COVID-19 cases inch nearer to the 10,000 mark. In this report, our Cleopatra Murphy speaks with the health minister on what's being done to increase vaccination options.
The Bahamas is making provisions to secure the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine, even as Minister of Health, the Honorable Renwood Wells, confirmed the country is in the midst of a third wave. His comments outside Cabinet Tuesday come as reluctant Bahamians say they would consider vaccination if they had an option.
I don't want to put a definitive timeline to it, because the minute I do that, then I'm going to have to come back to the media and correct it if we do not get it in that time frame. But we are working on getting Pfizer, and we do have ultra low temperature storage in the Bahamas in the private sector. The government expected that we would have already had the freezers. We're expecting them here very, very soon. And we will be in a position from the government side to house them. But we're also in a position from a national standpoint to house Pfizer vaccine. If we decide, if the manufacturer says we'll send it to you tomorrow, we can get it in country.
The Minister of Health linked the increase in cases to events over the Easter holiday, though acknowledging that numbers had been rising prior. He, however, insists the country is better equipped to handle a third wave than it was at the start of the pandemic.
We are testing. We have the bed space. We have the ventilators. We have the therapeutics, remdesivir. And we have, during this third wave, something we didn't have during the second wave. We have what most folks consider to be a cure for this, for what ails us, which is the vaccine.
At last count, more than 20,000 people had taken the AstraZeneca vaccine, with the minister stressing that vaccination will be the way out of the pandemic.
As I would have said previously, we are in the business of seeking to deploy the vaccine, get as many Bahamians vaccinated as possible, because I've always said there's only two ways to herd immunity. Everybody in the country is exposed to the disease, or the vast majority of us become vaccinated.
At this time, Wells says there are no plans for further COVID-19 restrictions, and this despite the uptick in cases. Cleopatra Murphy, ZNS Network News.
Well, Education Minister, the Honorable Jeffrey Lloyd, not concerned that the 5 positive COVID-19 cases recorded in public schools within the past 2 weeks will impact face-to-face learning. He told reporters this morning that the Ministry of Health alerted education officials of suspected cases in 7 schools, namely C.R. Walker Sr., H.O. Nash, and L.W. Young Jr., along with Sadie Curtis, Garvin Tynes, Carlton Francis, and T.G. Glover primary schools, with a number of contacts quarantined. Minister Lloyd acknowledging that while health and safety protocols have been followed, what happens in the wider community will be reflected in the schools.
We are assiduous in that application. We encourage all of our clients, students, administrators, teachers, support staff to do just simply that. And, we feel very confident that once those observances are upheld, we will be fine. Yesterday, it was reported to me that there was a case in Fresh Creek, Andros. And I, upon further investigation, found that that was not the case. It was further reported and announced by way of a voice note that a child, a student in the public system as young as 5 years of age, had contracted the virus. Again, upon further investigation, that was not the case.
The Education Minister also responded to the Bahamas Union of Teachers' concerns about being informed of COVID-19 infections, stating that notifications are timely.
The ministry informs all stakeholders, including, firstly, our clients, meaning our administrators and teachers and staff, and, of course, students and parents, as soon as we have information that is confirmed. Again, please bear in mind that there is a lot of information that floats out into the public domain, and as we have done our investigation, verified by the Ministry of Health, that information sometimes is incorrect, and we cannot afford to put out information from an official source like the ministry that is incorrect. And I gave an example about the 5-year-old. That is not correct.
Positive COVID-19 cases also hitting Anglican schools. The Anglican Central Education Authority confirming in a release that 2 positive COVID-19 cases have shown up at the Bishop Michael Eldon School in Grand Bahama, and that a mandatory 10-day quarantine has been imposed for all teachers, students, and staff. The plans to resume face-to-face on April 26. Now, here's what's worrisome. There's a shift in the age of distribution of COVID-19 deaths here in the Bahamas. Health officials confirming today that a proportionate number of younger people are dying when compared to the profile of the earlier surge. This is COVID-19 related deaths hold firm at 194, with 26 deaths under investigation. Hospitalizations, according to officials, meantime, sit at 46, 4 of the patients in the intensive care unit. As for case count, we've hit the 9,800 mark, following another 9 cases, 8 of them in New Providence and 1 on the island of Bimini. 1 of those cases was travel-related, according to officials. Well, still to come, the National Security Minister satisfied with the ongoing police probe into last week's mass shooting, and immigration officials closed the door on Haitians living in a school bus over in Abaco. Those stories and more when the National Report continues. And remember to tune in to the Morning Edition with LaDawn Davis and Charles Fisher at 7 o'clock weekday mornings. We also have news updates at every hour, starting at 2 p.m. You can then watch live at 5 with Amajal Knowles, followed by the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, at 6:30, and the National Report live at 7 p.m. All right here on the ZNS Network.
This portion of the news was brought to you by Sun Oil Limited Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
Home. Some say it's where the heart is, where you're most at peace, most yourself. Come home with Commonwealth Bank as we reopen our doors to the familiar comfort, amenities, and superior service that you know and love. Did you miss us, Marsh Harbor? We've certainly missed you. Welcome home.
But I wanna go home.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It's just roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
You know that feeling you get when you have an uncontrollable desire for fried chicken? That's the KFC, a substance that stimulates your senses to identify the aroma of our secret recipe or an extra crispy crunch from any distance. It's invisible to the naked eye, but you can feel it traveling throughout your body, taking control so you can enjoy a juicy bite of KFC. Ignite your senses with KFC.
It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. It's time to bounce back with P.O.B. Lowest consumer loan rates in the country. Trying to bank with no stress, we make it too easy. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. It's time to bounce back with B.O.B. Apply today for a B.O.B. Visa credit card, debt consolidation loan, or easy top-up. B.O.B., your bank of solutions.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
National Security Minister, the Honorable Marvin Dame, says he's encouraged by how the police investigation into last week's shooting massacre is progressing. As reported, 6 men had just been released from police custody when they were ambushed and shot to death, and their vehicle stopped at a traffic light at the intersection of Jerome Avenue and Chesapeake Road. A 2-year-old and a 19-year-old woman were left critically injured. Minister Dames, however, urges members of the public to use social media responsibly amid speculation about what occurred and people's names being connected.
We must be careful as we go about the business of using social media and what we put on it, and ensure that whatever's being put on social media being put there responsibly. There has been some information circulating in respect to who may or may not have been responsible for the incident. And names are being called with absolutely no factual information related to the matter. And I just want to warn members of the public to be responsible.
Meantime, police have cut loose the identity of the final victim of that mass shooting. He's 25-year-old Travis Latario Cooper of White's subdivision, Camp Road. Again, Cooper was one of 6 people killed that day. An attempt to evade the law short-lived for 3 illegal Haitian nationals. The trio was arrested and subsequently convicted following a joint operation consisting of Abaco police officers and officials from the Department of Housing and Environmental Health. Now, as the story goes, an official complaint was lodged with the department after a video made the rounds on social media of a school bus being converted into a home for suspected illegals in the Dundas-Town, Abaco area. The complaint was investigated and officials found the Haitian migrants aboard the bus. We're told the trio attempted to escape. The men were, however, cautioned and taken to the Immigration Marsh Harbor office, where further investigations revealed they were all illegals. All admitted they came to the Bahamas via boat back in December. The trio then pleaded guilty to illegal landing during their arraignment before Magistrate Ansela Evans. They are to remain in custody for deportation, having been fined $300. Failure to pay could lead to 1 month at the Bahamas Department of Correctional Services. Further, it's expected the Departments of Housing and Environmental Health will pursue legal action for infractions. Well, Chief Magistrate Joyanne Ferguson Pratt today told Landeria Russell she could take a seat at any point while facing an additional 70 of 160 counts of forgery. The 35-year-old woman stood strong while Ferguson Pratt read out loud, Russell again pleading not guilty to all, as she did in the case of the first 40 counts on Monday. She still has 50 more counts to go. Russell's litany of charges stem from possession of forged documents, namely fake RT-PCR COVID-19 test. The chief magistrate suggested the matter be suspended until Monday, April 26, due to the other matters pending in her court. Both the Crown and Russell's attorneys, Ian Cargill and Wendon Miller-Frazier, agreed. Until then, Russell was released on $40,000 bail with 2 sureties. She must also report to the Kamaica Road Police Station on or before 6 p.m. every Thursday and return to court for further reading of the charges. Good news on the economy. Few and far between, but tonight we can tell you of an achievement the Bahamas has scored. It's ranked first for retail central bank digital currencies, or CBDCs, development. The Bahamas pulling in 92 out of 100, Cambodia in second place with 83, followed by mainland China with 75. The ranking, the result of a PwC research report that surveys the level of central bank maturity in deploying cryptocurrencies based on 2 factors: retail applications and interbank applications. The former refers to CBDCs that can be held and transacted directly in the form of digital cash. The latter are restricted to major financial institutions for settlement. PwC noting that the Bahamas scored favorably due to the successful implementation of its digital currency, Sand Dollar. The good news continuing with the results of a recent poll. Key findings from PwC's 24th Global CEO Survey reflect unprecedented optimism about the global economy. If we were to zoom in on the region, 69% of Caribbean CEOs are convinced global economic growth will improve this year. And this considering the momentum around the vaccine development and rollout. You see, despite the pandemic, the Caribbean's long-standing business relationship with developed countries has remained strong, a trend that looks to continue over the next 12 months. Confidence aside, though, anxiety lingers due to prevailing threats, the most obvious pandemics and other health crises, cyber risk due to a rise over the past year, the spread of misinformation coupled with the climate change challenge. PwC Bahamas leader Prince Raming reasoning that to take on tomorrow, CEOs will need to accelerate digital transformation and workforce upskilling as businesses look to drive innovation, sharpen productivity, and ensure the right outcomes for consumers. As far as Raming sees it, the organizations that rise to these challenges will emerge stronger, more resilient, and able to stir successfully through a period of momentous change. The Caribbean region edition includes CEOs in the Bahamas, Barbados, Bermuda, Jamaica, and Trinidad and Tobago. 962 businesses across the country are benefiting from the government's Access Accelerator Small Business Development Center program to keep their operation afloat in this COVID-19 environment. In fact, its initial investment of $5 million has exceeded some $52.7 million. Minister of State for Finance, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, touts its success.
I'm pleased that with our support, they were able to keep so many businesses alive and open and secure employment for so many. The Bahamas is full of budding entrepreneurs, but many need that extra push to start ensuring that their dreams become realities. This is where collaboration or simple act of receiving support can spark success. The Access Accelerator was built to do just that. The program has proven itself to be a tangible resource to support these Bahamians, giving them access to necessary funding.
Well, funds from the CBDC has helped a couple expand their fast food restaurant business by opening another location. Carla Palmer has the story.
The newest Charlie's Philly Steaks restaurant on the Independence Highway here in New Providence is an investment worth $250,000. For co-owner Tanya Bethel, investor confidence remained high in spite of the COVID-19 environment and the fact that it's replacing a previous restaurant short-lived.
We've been in the mall for 7 years, and with the way the world is going, we feel that we needed to invest over the hill, so to speak, and it was just a long time coming. We've been in the mall, and so yes, we're pretty optimistic. We just can't lay down and not do anything. We just have to keep trying.
It's the second chain in its franchise, the first one located center court at the Marathon Mall.
People have been asking us to expand and when we're going to expand, and now I think with COVID it gave us no other choice but to expand and to expand in this way with a drive-through especially. But for what the Bahamian people have told us and said over the years, so we're very confident in our product.
This newest location will employ 50 persons, bringing the total staff complement of both restaurants to 70. Minister of State for Finance, Senator the Honorable Kwesi Thompson, could not be more happier to have people employed.
I think it's always good news when you have a business that opens and that expands and that hires new employees. But in particular, given what the challenges that we are facing now with COVID, it's even more important. So it is very, very important that we recognize the efforts of businesses and that we do all we can to continue to push them, to motivate them, and to ensure that they expand as well.
In the midst of stiff competition, the Bethels are hoping to hold their own. In addition to the food, they are promising the same level of quality service in a clean environment to be the order of the day.
We are pleased that the business was able to take advantage of the Small Business Development Center, the Access Accelerator loan that assisted them in maintaining themselves and continuing with employment through these challenging times.
It's going to pan out well. Like I said, this location is the only one that sells the Philly cheesesteak wings, and then we have the drive-thru. So it's a move and go for this location, I would say.
In the midst of stiff competition, the Bethels are hoping to hold their own. In addition to the food, they're promising the same level of quality service in a clean environment, as is here, over there, to be the order of the day. Carla Palmer, ZNS Network News.
Well, this just in from health officials. Today's COVID-19 dashboard shows that after a data cleaning exercise, the allocation of those 347 positive COVID-19 cases have been reduced. The new reclassified cases, 347 in New Providence, 50 in Grand Bahama, 2 in Abaco, 2 in Bimini and Cat Key, 15 in Eleuthera, 7 in Andros, 1 reclassified case each in San Salvador and Cat Island, 2 cases taken away from the Berry Islands total, and 3 each taken away from total cases in Exuma and Inagua.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
At BPL, we are building for better. And that starts with improving customer relations for every single customer. Whether it's your home or business, big or small, we want you to know that you are important to us and that providing you with efficient and reliable energy is our business. Through increased efficiency and our hedging strategy, we've been able to decrease your bills significantly, a much welcome relief in these trying times.
I pay close attention to my BPL bill, and I've noticed a continual decline since July of last year. I'm so happy I can open my bill and know that it's steadily becoming more manageable.
As an entrepreneur, I've seen my electricity bills for home and business go down. This is amazing because now more than ever, it gives businesses and everyone the break they need to not only survive, but to succeed.
At BPL, we're proud of the early success of our strategic plan, and we look forward to consolidating the gains we've made. With more improvements on the way, we are continuing to build for a better future for all of us.
Our business is all about seeing the big picture, about seeing where we are through the lens of where we could be, challenging the boundaries of land and sea to expand into new and uncharted territory, moving beyond age-old traditions for greater efficiency and growth, building on the strength of our foundation by evolving with technology and innovation, connecting million-dollar dreams with billion-dollar opportunities. Our big picture illuminates the path to the future, bridging the gap between possibilities and certainty by taking ownership of today and inspiring the generations of tomorrow. This is our big picture. What's yours?
You work hard. Shouldn't your money be working hard too? RF Mutual Funds are designed to put your money to work with some of the best performing investment funds in the market and a range of funds to suit your unique needs and risk tolerance. So when you're hard at work, you can be confident your money is too. Put your money to work with RF Mutual Funds. Contact us today to learn more.
I'm Corval Pyfrom. Touching down in picturesque Georgetown, Exuma, our door-to-door team is geared up to assist our customers with the most reliable source of connectivity. Powered, of course, by BTC.
Today we're at ShopRite Mart in Georgetown, Exuma. We're offering today is the A1. That's going for $50. It also comes with a complimentary SIM card. We also have the Samsung Galaxy A1 and that's going for $129. We've been the Samuel Key and the response from the customers they are happy to see us. They were glad with the variety of goods that we had. Some of the top brands on the island are the Apple products, such as the iPhone 12. They were very excited about those. They also love the Samsung. They love the Samsung A21s. They also take a liking to the Samsung A12.
Hey, Exuma, we see you, and we will stay connected to you. These are the moments that move us. I'm Corval Pyfrom. Be well, and be back here next BTC Connection.
Join up for life insurance. Secure the ones that you love. Join up with Family Guardian. We offer full protection. Join the family.
When you wanna save money on your tile supplies, who you gonna call? The Tile King. When you tile your house and you wanna look good, who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Visit the new Tile King showroom, which is internationally recognized as the finest tile showroom in the Caribbean, located in the Builders Mall on Wolf Road.
The Tile King. Who you gonna call? The Tile King.
Tiles on everything.
Shell Unleaded improves your fuel economy, giving increased miles per gallon, allowing you to do more of what you really want. Special additives used in Shell Unleaded improve your engine's efficiency. So go further with Shell Unleaded. Venture out to beaches, Junkanoo, and festivals and bring home memories that will last a lifetime. Shell, fueling journeys that matter.
There's going to be a change in the weather here in the Bahamas soon, and the Met Office is attributing it to the La Soufriere volcano in St. Vincent and the Grenadines that is over 1,300 miles away from us. Upper-level western winds have taken the majority of the volcanic ash eastward across the Atlantic to as far as the Indian Ocean, reducing its concentration in the immediate area. Now, as the Bahamas is geographically located to the north and west of the eruption site, we should not expect the inflow of volcanic ash and sulfur dioxide, but we could see some hazy conditions persist over the next few days. Well, Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean joins us live in studio with more details. Good evening, Basil.
Good evening, Makishna.
Exactly how long will those hazy conditions linger, and could you specify for us which part of the country will feel it the most?
Well, the hazy conditions will last right through tomorrow, and by Thursday or so, that will dissipate. And the reason for that, there's a front boundary just to the north of us. It's stationary, but that will start pushing through. That will increase the chance of some showers starting late Wednesday night into Thursday morning. That will wash away some of that dust from the Sahara Desert, which has been advected from east to west, which is a seasonal thing. But additionally, what that also does, once you have the presence of that Sahara dust, in terms of tropical cyclone development, it tends to cool off the water surfaces because it inhibits the incoming solar radiation. So that is one of the good side effects of the Sahara dust, but it's not going to be with us very long. Hazy conditions lasting through tomorrow. Thereafter, that will dissipate.
Now, you can expect to hear more from Basil later in the newscast. Meantime, the United Nations has launched a $29.2 million global funding appeal to help those affected by the volcano's eruption in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Barbados, Antigua and Barbuda, Grenada and St. Lucia. The UN-generated funds will provide immediate life-saving humanitarian aid, including cash assistance, clean water, and support a sustainable recovery. The UN and its partners will also assess the economic, social, and environmental impact, ash removal, and improving environmental health conditions. Another priority, preventing the spread of COVID-19. The UN Central Emergency Response Fund has also allocated $1 million to render urgent humanitarian assistance to those impacted by the volcanic eruption. Help also coming in from CIBC First Caribbean International Bank. 40 pallets of food, water, cleaning supplies, and sanitary items have been sent to the island, courtesy of the bank's charitable arm, the First Caribbean International Comtrust Foundation. The supplies are being transported by the Barbados Coast Guard and will arrive later this week to be presented to the National Emergency Management Organization. Ministry of Foreign Affairs Permanent Secretary Peter DeVoe Isaacs received the coup d'etat of the High Commissioner Designate of Sri Lanka, His Excellency Peter Mohan Mathri, during a virtual meeting yesterday. Strengthening both countries' economies amid the COVID-19 pandemic, the global vaccination program, climate change, and engaging in bilateral technical cooperation opportunities in agriculture, tourism, and academic training in the future were discussed. The Sri Lankan diplomat will formally present his letters of commission to the Governor General at a later date. What environmentally conscious change are you making this Earth Day? Well, while the globally celebrated day may not be on your radar, Officials at the Ministry of Environment and Housing are encouraging the public to continue upholding the plastic ban. This as officials distributed reusable canvas bags today on Blue Hill Road. According to Dr. Rihanna Neely Murphy, the use of one reusable bag diverts about 20 plastic ones from the landfill. And while many have adjusted to the change just fine, there are those the plastic police may be visiting very soon.
Although they're banned, we still see them around. Please keep in mind that the unit at the Ministry of the Environment and Housing will, and we are still around, inspecting stores, issuing fines, and confiscating items. So keep our earth in mind this week. Remember to take your reusable bags to every store that you go in. Take a reusable bottle, get one of those steel straws. All of those things help to restore our earth.
Well, the Tuesday Morning Initiative is just one of several to take place this week to commemorate Earth Day. This morning's giveaway was conducted in collaboration with the police force.
This is an excellent initiative, and we all can do our part in keeping our environment safe. We are police officers, as you can see, and we have the plastic police from the environmental health. And so this is a partnership. We want to continue this partnership from the Royal Bahamas Police Force with all government and non-governmental agencies so that we can make a tremendous impact to our country at large.
Well, as we head to the break, we'd like to thank all our viewers watching us live on our social media platforms. And just in case you missed the news, be sure to head there to catch up. Stay with us. There's more after the break.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
Discover the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
I discovered the possibilities.
Samantha's always on point. She doesn't miss a thing. When she signs up for any insurance policy, she reads all the fine print. She knows what's covered, what's not covered, and she's aware of her deductibles. When it comes to insurance, it pays to know your policy. Review every insurance policy so you know what you're covered for. This message was brought to you by the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas.
Hey guys, it's Shay again with another quick tidbit on the perks of being an Alive customer. Now, if you're already on our network, this may just be a refresher for you, but if you're not, this might give you that extra push. If you're interested in getting a bill every month, or you're interested in the best prices on some of the latest devices, or if you've been a little bit interested in that auto pay option, this might be for you. It's time for you to join postpaid and experience opulence.
Simply put, being an Alive postpaid customer means you selected the plan of your choice and you then pay for that plan routinely every month. Unlike prepaid, where you can fluctuate between 7-day and 30-day, all postpaid plans are 30-day plans. So what are some of those postpaid plans? We have our Liberty More, which is $59.99, gives you 10 gigabytes of data, 500 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Premium, which is $99.99 per month and gives you 20 gigabytes of data, 1,000 talk and text minutes. Or we have our Liberty Elite, which is $149.99 a month, includes unlimited data, talk and text, and 1 gigabyte of roaming data. Again, all of our plans include unlimited Alive-to-Alive calls and text. Now listen, we also have postpaid MiFi plans. That's right. If you have a MiFi device, you can purchase postpaid data plans, MiFi Basic, MiFi Plus, and MiFi Preferred. So what else can you look forward to? Even though we are still practicing social distancing during this time, as a postpaid customer, you not only have access to exclusive offers and devices, but exclusive invites to virtual events hosted by Alive in partnership with local vendors and access to special offers at many vendors on our List Rewards app.
So there you have it. If you're a prepaid customer and you've been thinking about making that postpaid switch, we hope that this helped. If you're not an Alive customer, what are you waiting on? Alive, believe in best.
Member of Parliament for Long Island, Adrian Gibson, refuting claims from the Progressive Liberal Party's Long Island candidate, Terrell Grave Young, that he misrepresented the island's COVID-19 status, maintaining there is no outbreak. Gibson says the facts are a 41-year-old woman was diagnosed with COVID-19 on April 16th, and she was treated on the island. The F&M MP says he does not traffic in speculation or disseminate hearsay, adding that at all times he has been in contact with the island's health team and senior medical officials here in New Providence. Gibson continues to urge all Long Islanders to wear masks in public spaces, maintain social distancing protocols, and constantly and consistently sanitize their hands. Well, it's time now for a check on Family Island weather, and for that we again turn to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean. Hi, Basil.
All right, Makisha. Well, we start to see some clouds rolling in ahead of that frontal boundary, which is stalled to the north of us. All the details on that coming up later in our newscast, so stay tuned. But outside of our studios, we are under sunny skies with a temperature of 82 degrees, relative humidity 73%. The winds are out of the south-southwest at 7 miles per hour. Your barometric pressure 1,015.3 millibars. That is 29.99 inches, and the pressure is rising. Temperatures around the islands this evening, well, they are brought to you by Family Guardian Insurance Company. We protected you. 81 in Freeport, Grand Bahama, Green Torquay, and Marsh Harbor in Abaco, the Berry Islands, 82, Allenstown, Bimini, 82 degrees. 81 in Harbor Island, Rockstown, Eleuthera, 82 degrees, also 82 in Otterstown, Cat Island. Staniel Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros, all at 83 degrees. Picking up some 82s in San Salvador, Rum Key, and Georgetown, Exuma, 82s also in Ragged Island, Clownstown, Long Island, and Crooked Island. Betsy Bay, Megawan, 81, Acklands, 81 degrees, Matthew Town, Inagua, 83, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And your boating forecast tonight is brought to you by Builders Mall, home of FYP, the Tile King, and the Paint Setter. In the northwestern islands tonight, the winds are going to be south to southwest, speeds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 8:47 this evening. In the central parts of our country, southeasterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights also at 2 to 4 feet. In the southeastern Bahamas, winds southeast at 15 knots, wave heights 3 to 5 feet with a moderate chop. And then tomorrow, which is Wednesday, middle of the week, the winds will be blowing out of the southwest to west at 10 to 15 knots. That's for the northwestern parts of our country. The wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide takes place at 9:50 in the morning with the high tide at 3:46 in the afternoon. In the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, southeasterly winds at 10 to 15, wave heights at 2 to 4 feet. And as we roll into Thursday in the northwestern islands, our winds become easterly, speeds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights holding at 2 to 4 feet. Low tide at 10:44 in the morning, high tide at 4:46 in the afternoon. And for the central parts of our country on Thursday, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. In the southeast, that southeast flow will continue at 10 to 15 and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they are brought to you by Royal Star Assurance.
Come to you, you gave me food, clothes, and protection too. You said don't worry about a thing, just show your loyalty, the comfort that you'll bring. When I look around, I got papers and passport working on my visa, I don't want to be straight. Boss lady tell me that for family, she can clean the house and iron the clothes for me.
And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But stay tuned. Your extended weather forecast is still ahead.
Cooking something new or whipping up a family favorite? Great meals start at Super Value and Quality Supermarkets. Quaker Oats, 18-ounce size, $2.99. Amarlanda Fresh Milk, 1 liter, $1.39. First Choice Sugar, 4-pound bag, $2.09. Danish spare ribs, $2.59 per pound. Aberdeen bacon, 12-ounce pack, $3.49. Open Monday through Saturdays, 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Double stamps on Sundays. Super Value and Quality Supermarkets.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
The Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, or BBSQ, ensures better business practices in the Bahamas through the development and promotion of voluntary and mandatory national standards. Standards are guidelines which ensure that goods and services are produced with the safety of consumers and the environment in mind. BBSQ has developed standards for the manufacturing of bottled water. All vehicles brought into the country are also subject to standards. We have protocols for the poultry and egg production industry. National standards also apply to the construction industry. We are setting quality management and quality assurance guidelines to ensure that medical laboratories are competent. Standards help businesses to reduce expenditure, improve customer satisfaction, access new markets, reduce environmental impact, increase market share, and innovate. For consumers, standards provide improved choice, lower costs, greater assurance, compatibility, consistency, and better product information. We believe that standards matter to everyone, everywhere. We are the Bahamas Bureau of Standards and Quality, where quality is our standard.
BBSQ, coming for through. You, for me.
Kill COVID-19 with KOC. Tested in an EPA-certified lab, KOC multi-surface cleaner kills in seconds and lasts up to 48 hours. KOC can be used on hard or soft surfaces, even safe on fabrics. KOC, distributed by D&T Environmental Cleaning and Air Conditioning Services.
Today is a day for fun. Today is a day for family. So why should yesterday's worries affect my today? That's why I insure my family with J.S. Johnson, because their mission is to provide us with the best insurance coverage possible. With J.S. Johnson, I know my family comes first, so I take comfort in knowing that they always have us covered, providing us with a great today and an even better tomorrow.
J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers, giving you peace of mind.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by Fourth Terrace Diagnostic Center.
Welcome to sports. Well, Bahamian track star Stephen Gardner, the 2019 World Athletics World Champion and the men's 400-meter gold medalist, opening his outdoor season with the third fastest time in the world this season, clocking 44.71 seconds. It was his first 400-meter race of the year. Gardner attained the feat at the Tom Jones Invitational in Gainesville, Florida on Saturday. Gardner ran under the Empire Athletics banner and was the only competitor who ran under 45 seconds in that race. He finished ahead of Pure Athletics' Matthew Hudson Smith, who clocked 45.53 seconds. Also competing at the event was Bahamian Denisha Anderson, who ran the third leg to help her team. The University of Florida Gators women's 4x4 relay squad posted third fastest time in NCAA Division I this season, the fourth fastest time in the world, running a time of 3 minutes, 27.50 seconds. The time was also the sixth fastest in program history. Earlier in the meet, the redshirt sophomore would run the women's 400 meters and finish fourth in 52.77 seconds. It was a good day over the weekend also for Bahamian collegiate sprinter Beyond Bethel, as she ran a personal best time in the women's 400 meters at the Boots Garland Invitational on the campus of LSU in Baton Rouge. University of Houston Cougars senior held on to win the race, crossing the finish line in 52.87 seconds. That time puts her at number 26 in the NCAA Division I rankings this season. The crowning moment for Bahamian Eugene Stewart, as he and his Arcata Galati men's volleyball team emerged as the champions of the Romania Division A1 League. Stewart, along with 5 other players, helped Arcata pull off a clean sweep of the 3-set victory over SCM Zalou over the weekend. Arcata finished the season with an impressive 28-2 win-loss record atop the team standings. It was Stewart's first year with Arcata Al-Qaeda, having joined the team in September. He said it was an exceptional feeling to be a part of a championship team. Currently one of 3 Bahamians playing professional volleyball overseas. Prior to joining Al-Qaeda in Romania, Stewart spent the previous season with Caroline Hermos in Finland. That's been a look at sports. More news when we return.
ZNS Total Sports is brought to you by 4th Terrace Diagnostic Center.
The $20 combo, unlimited talk, yo, to every network you know. Across the Bahamas, I got 6 gigs of data, plus unlimited chat. It just roll over too. Now let me check my people on Facebook and WhatsApp. BTC is where it's at. I rock my combo.
Your BTC 10-day combo is now only $20 and is supersized with a new low price.
BTC, do it again.
With 99% of medical claims paid in under 5 days, we're like that spider that doesn't climb in your shower. CG Atlantic. Insurance, health, pensions, life. Good like that.
We get vaccinated for COVID-19. We're not just protecting ourselves. We're also protecting those around us, those who are unable to get vaccinated due to allergies and illnesses. Protection from COVID-19 is critically important because for some persons, it can cause severe illness or even death. During the current global pandemic, vaccination remains critically important to save as many lives as possible. Be sure you are armed with the facts when it comes to the COVID-19 vaccine.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Legend. A story that has been passed on for generations.
I was born in a little village just outside of Mustang. It's called Burroughs.
Okay.
And my grandparents that I grew up with were farmers. I can remember the Second World War because I remember on my summer vacations I would go to Nassau and there would be the blackouts.
I'm a proud Bahamian. I'm over here and I'm proud of who I am.
Anton, the 6th Bahamian to make it to the big league and the first since 1983. There are presently 3 Bahamians at the school. Anthony Seymour, Lucius Fox, and Todd Isaacs, all hoping to follow in Anton's path.
It gives me motivation to know that being from the Bahamas doesn't mean anything, that we can make it anywhere.
Time now for weather.
In our final look at weather, when we look at our satellite picture, we see a lot of moisture moving into the northwest Bahamas, and that's courtesy of a frontal boundary which has been stalled to the north of us for a couple of days. It will make that final push tomorrow night, and that should get some showers in our area as well. But by Thursday evening, Thursday night, things should start to dry out a bit, leaving behind some milder temperatures, if we can say that, at least during the nighttime. But the daytimes are going to be very warm with those temperatures remaining in the 80s, as you'll see when we get to our 7-day forecast. Tonight, though, we're looking at humid conditions, increasing clouds as that frontal boundary and prefrontal conditions get a little closer to us. 73 degrees will be your low temperature, and your forecast for tomorrow, we're going to maintain the humid conditions because we will remain in that sector where the winds will be flowing out of the southwest to west, and there will be periods of clouds and sunshine tomorrow and a slight chance of a passing shower. 86 degrees for your high tomorrow, but as we get into tomorrow evening, tomorrow night, that is when you will see an increase in clouds and shower activity heading into the nighttime hours. Extended weather forecast by Wednesday, we're looking at 86 degrees. That will top off there. Things will start to cool down because the frontal boundary will go through. We're looking at 83 degrees for a high on Thursday. That will hold right into Friday before we start to see a slight increase into the mid-80s as of the weekend, and that will hold there. Nighttime temperatures, they're going to hold in the low 70s, so we're not going to see any appreciable change in our nighttime temperatures. Makeshla?
Well, thanks, Basil. That does it for the Bahamas tonight. We thank you for continuing to make ZNS your #1 news and information network. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better than ZNS. On behalf of the entire team here, thanks for watching and good night.
Did you know that tens of thousands of people around the world participated in the final stage 3 trials for the AstraZeneca COVID-19 vaccines? The AstraZeneca vaccine is 62 to 90% effective at preventing symptomatic cases of COVID-19. The vaccine also slows transmission of the virus from person to person. There were absolutely no cases of serious illness or hospitalization within 21 days of receiving an initial dose in the AstraZeneca trials. More than 124 million people have received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine. So far, the approved vaccines have been overwhelmingly safe and effective at protecting people from COVID-19. To learn more about the vaccines, visit opm.gov.bs/vaccines.
This message has been brought to you by the Government of the Bahamas in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.